So here we're viewing an audit plan. So have its title at the top and its status. We have a little refresh button here, so if anything changes and you think, oh, that's not been updated, click that button and it'll refresh the screen. Up at the top here we have the edit button. Click the edit and that will allow you to change the details of that audit. We can't change the type because if you change the type it would change the fundamental basics of this particular audit. We can change everything else. There's a little drop down there so you can view the change history. So who has edited it? What have they changed the values from? We can also export these stations to Excel. So that looks like this. And then you can delete the audit plan, but be careful because this deletes everything from the audits to the actions. So then we have our tabs across the top here. The first one, stations, which is the things that we're auditing. And so we can change the order of these things by dragging and dropping them. Okay. We can also make changes to those audits by ticking multiple things. We can change them in a group, and we could do things like setting the template. So we can set the same template for multiple things, stations. We can also set the schedule for multiple stations. And we can also set the users for those stations. So we can click on 2 and say, right, well, Richard Brown is going to be auditing those particular stations. So just mentioning that a bit further, you can have specific auditors for specific stations or things, or you can define your list up here where you can say that these are the people that do all of those audits for those things. So click edit and then you can go and move people around there. Okay, so we can deactivate certain stations by saying no and clicking save. And then we can view those inactive by changing this show here to find those inactive stations. So moving on to our table, different things will show for different types of audits and different schedule types. So we click on station here, which is the label, and we can change the label. We can change the template against that particular thing, although you can't change that template there if you set it across the whole audit. So the process audits have the same question set for the whole audit. You can also set the schedule. We've got our schedules listed. So this only shows when it's individually recurring. So it doesn't show on every type of audit. We see the templates against each item, again, only if they have separate templates. Then we have our specific auditors. We have a list of when was our last audit and when is our next audit due. I'm just going to show you a different audit that would have some records in. So as you can see on this audit, we have the last audited on the 27th, and you can click on that to view the audit. And this resulted in 3 major actions, 1 minor action, and 1 opportunity for improvement. And the next audit will be on the 1st of October 2025. And there's no open actions. There's a little key at the bottom here, which tells you green means it's on time, red means it was late. And over on the next audit, it means that whether it's red for late or amber means that there's no audit plan for the future. So you can click that schedule audit to put it in the diary. If you want to add a new department or thing or station, whatever it is you've called them, click add department, and then you'll be able to add the department there and select the template. So moving across the tabs, we've got a calendar tab, which is really nice to see things in sort of a monthly view. And using this option here, you can go back and say, let's see the last 24 months. Or you could go forwards and let's see the next 24 months worth. And so if you were to drag and drop these around, you can change the schedule and it will ask you for a changelog. So this is where you can say, we changed this because, and it might be because of a response to a customer complaint, you might have brought something forwards, or you might have swapped things around. If you don't want to leave a changelog, just press X. And if you're doing lots of this moving around, just deselect that there, and then it won't ask you. And you can just move them around as much as you like. And you can also create an audit sort of ad hoc and say, I want to do this audit on this department on that day, and I want that person to do it. And it's as simple as that. Moving on to the next tab, we've got the timeline. And the timeline is like a Gantt chart. So we can look back on over the 12 months and see this is when those audits were done, or this is when it was completed late, and so on. The next tab is our changes. So when we was making changes earlier, it records a log of those changes and what the reason is. So then if an auditor comes around and says, well, what changes have you made in response to customer actions? You can demonstrate that quite quickly and easily. And it's all built into the system, so there's no extra work really involved. And if you want to just create a changelog ad hoc, click create changelog, type in what your change is and what your reason is, and click create. And that's all there is to the audit plans.